to follow it anymore.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Hey, Rima. I'll answer in a few seconds. All right. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Entrepreneur and Investor Connection. I'm on Clubhouse. I'm also on Instagram and a bunch of different places. YouTube. I'm going to show my screen, but I'm also going to start a conversation on Clubhouse about should you be thinking about selling your crypto right now? I'm going to tell you a few stories about what's happened to me over the last few weeks. And you got to start making your own personal finance decisions about what you're doing with your crypto, right? So where I am today is, the markets took a bad crash Tuesday morning. But before that, they were up pretty good, right? And everybody was feeling good. And what happens is there's this euphoria that happens when the prices are going up, right? And you see your money growing. And I've seen this a few times in crypto in this year alone. So now what I'm getting to is part of why I want to start creating this content is I know this is going to come back up and go back down, but I want you guys to start thinking about the strategies you have as it goes up, because you have to think about it. There's three things you can possibly be right now if you're investing in crypto or stock or whatever the case may be. You are either an investor. An investor takes an investment and they want to hold it for a certain amount of time, right? It's not I'm going to buy this and then sell it in a month. So investors have more of a long-term view on putting money into stock, crypto, real estate. Are you a trader? Are you looking to make a quick flip, make as much money as possible, as fast as possible, right? So that's what most people were doing when they bought Dogecoin or Shiba Inu, or you could buy a house and flip it, right? So it's not a bad thing to be a trader. Trading is the hardest thing to do, though. Then there's gambling, right? You could just be putting money in and saying, I hope it goes 100x, and that's gambling, right? So, but you really got to start thinking to yourself, okay, what am I doing when I put this money in? Am I gambling? Am I trading, or am I investing? And even myself, I constantly ask myself this question, right? And sometimes I switch it right in the middle. So I'm going to give you a few examples of stuff that happened to me this and last week. So as you've seen, if you're looking at the charts or you're watching the crypto prices, is going up and down, very volatile. The good thing about volatility is if you are a trader, you can make a lot of money, because one day Bitcoin could be 42,000 and the next day it could be 52,000. So if you are looking at it as a trader, crypto is one of the best places to make money, but trading is very hard. You could also lose a lot of money that same exact way. So you want to learn a lot before you consider yourself a trader. But I'm going to tell you a scenario that happened to me last week where I went in thinking like a investor. There's this coin called Trader Joe. The coin is called JOE. And what I saw was I sold my Bitcoin this weekend. Oh, so you got out really good. You got out early enough. Sorry, I got a message on Instagram. So this last week, I saw there's a new ecosystem growing, meaning a whole blockchain was coming online. So all these coins were going to go up. So I said, all right, I'm going to start understanding that situation, because I've seen it before multiple times. So now I'm going to try to time and invest in things early, right? So I go and I find this coin called Trader Joe, and it sounds hilarious. It's TraderJoeXYZ.com. So I go and I'm just looking around at what exists in Avalanche, which is the blockchain. It's AVAX is the coin. I don't even think you can buy it yet on Coinbase. That's how early it is. So I bought the coin. I went into that ecosystem and I started looking at what's called the decentralized exchanges. Why is that? Because decentralized exchanges is where people trade coins. So let's say today I wanted to buy coin A using coin B, I have to go to an exchange. So those do well when the ecosystem starts, because everybody goes in there and starts trading. So I didn't know that the first time I looked at a new ecosystem, right? The first one I ever saw was Ethereum, right? Ethereum started, and I saw Uniswap, SushiSwap start to grow. Then with Polygon, I saw the same thing with QuickSwap. So this time I said, ooh, I got it. As soon as this launch happens, I'm going to find the most popular trading decentralized exchange, and it was Trader Joe. So I said, all right, I'm going to make a big bet. I'm going to make a big bet on this coin because I've seen this happen 2 times in a row. I won't tell you exactly how much I put in, but I borrowed against my bank, my crypto bank, safely, which I'll explain how I did that. And in 24 hours, that coin went up 45%. So let's just say if I invested $1,000, I made $450. I definitely invested more than $1,000, but it was also a risk, right? It could have went down. But why am I bringing this up? Is because I saw it happen multiple times. I wasn't a rookie. I didn't just look at a coin and say, oh, I like this name. I'm putting the money in. Hopefully it 3X's. No, I saw this happen multiple times, and I took a gamble. It was kind of a gamble trade, but at the same time, when I put the money in, I also said this could be an investment. Why? This coin, they give you what's called kind of like a dividends. If you don't know what a dividend is in stock, they pay you out based on how many shares of the stock you have. So Trader Joe, based on how many coins you have, they give you money every day. So I said, okay, worst case scenario, I'll have cash flow by investing in this coin, JOE. So I said, okay, worst case scenario, I'm an investor. And I saw another YouTuber say, he said, I'm putting $10,000 in Joe, and I expect in the next 5 years for that to end up paying me about $50,000 a year in cash flow. So if you know me, my personal strategy when it comes to crypto is I want cash flow. I don't want to just have a coin that I hope goes up one day. I want coins that every day give me some kind of money. So Joe was one of those coins. But what ended up happening was it jumped from like $1.33 to like $2.33. So it made me a trader, because right there I was like, I'm just going to jump out. I'm going to pay my loan and I'm going to stay with 45% more money than I had. So why I bring it all this up is because the only way I was able to take advantage of that scenario is because I had been training myself to see this stuff, to look. And I do start to see myself as more of a trader, especially right now. And it's funny, I was having a back and forth with somebody on Twitter a few days ago about Cardano. If you bought Cardano and you see that the price went down, I was saying I'm going to sell my Cardano on Sunday. And the guy was like, oh, you're a trader. And I was like, no, I'm an investor. He was like, you're a trader. And I was like, am I a trader? And he's right. Actually, what I'm doing more now is I'm watching to see when things go up, and I'm going to sell a little bit every time I see something go up, because what happened to me last time was at the height of the crypto market where I had the most money, I didn't sell anything and it crashed down. So my money went from 6x my original investment to 3x my original investment. Still very good, right? Most things are not going to 3x in a few months. But I realized if I would have just sold a little bit while it was 6x, I would have been better off. I thought it was going to go 10x, 20x. You always think it's going to keep going up. But that's not how this works. It goes up and down, up and down. So you got to create your own strategy when you see the ups. I'm not telling you to sell. If you are thinking like an investor, which I hope most people are, not many people have time like me to be watching this stuff. But if you think about it like your 401k, you say, I'm going to put this money in here and I'm going to forget about it. In a year, 2 years, I'm going to come, look, see what the price, what the number is, and be happy like you do with your 401k. You're going to have a lot more money than when you just put it in. So with me, I am trying to learn this. I have the Cracking Crypto Club, so I'm teaching people. So I am watching it a lot more. So I am able to take advantage, but at the same time, not everybody does. So part of why I wanted to make this video today is to make sure people are thinking about that as they buy coins. Whenever you put money down on a coin, ask yourself, am I willing to hold this coin for over a year and not worry about it? Am I looking for this coin to go up, and then as soon as it goes up a certain percent, I'm going to sell it? Or am I putting it in here knowing I could lose it all, and if it gets to $10,000, cool, that's a gamble. So to me right now, I am more in trader land because I am looking at the heights and I'm selling a little bit. I don't sell it all. In the Joe situation, I sold it all because I was like, that's a lot in one day. You know, like I'm not going to like play around. And luckily I did because it went right back down. So if I didn't have that strategy, I would have missed out on that 45% gain because I would have just left it there and go. But over time, it would go up and up and up. I do believe that. But in that moment, me catching it go up 45% made me a lot of money. And right now, I just did it again. And let's see if it works. And this Thursday in Cracking Crypto, I'm going to walk everybody through how I did it and have them ask questions and all that. So on that note, I want to hear your questions. I want to know what you're thinking about and what was the last coin you purchased. What were you thinking when you bought it? Of course, I'm going to go to the Clubhouse because you can talk. So I'm not sure if you guys are interested in doing that, but Anibal, Rima, Ozzy, are you interested in talking about your last crypto you bought? All right, I won't force anybody to say what they're doing. So I'm gonna show you on
You're not pushing. It's cool, Miguel. So just like we had the conversation last time. Hi, it's Aniral.
Hey, Aniral.
Thank you for having me. So yeah, I'm still just gathering information as much as possible. Still learning the lingo. Writing things down when I can. So today's not one of those days that I can, but I'm in full listen mode. Definitely just with the open mind, beginner's mind, and just absorbing as much information as I can. And I appreciate you, Miguel.
Thank you, Anibal. And here's a good thing. I'm recording this on YouTube, so you can always come back and re-listen. And I'm also going to start showing my screen as I talk, so you can see what I look for. How about you, Rima, Ozzy, or Joanna? Where are you in your crypto journey? Are you looking at the market? Are you Joanna, you said you sold your Bitcoin, right? Are you able to talk? If you're not able to talk, it's cool. I'm gonna.
Yes,
hey,
I'm sorry.
No problem.
Yeah, it was funny because I haven't really been, and I've been meaning to take off my Bitcoin out of Robinhood because that's where I bought it and take it out of there, right?
Sure. So okay, if you understand what she's saying is she bought her Bitcoin on Robinhood. The major problem with that, if you've done this, when you buy on Robinhood, you don't own the cryptocurrency. It's kind of like a piece of paper saying, we owe you the value of this currency whenever you sell it. So you can't do things like create your own bank. You can't do a lot. You could just sell it for the gain. And I made this mistake too. I have Dogecoin still in Robinhood because of this. So so you sold it and what's your plan?
Correct. So I actually chose this weekend out of all the weekends to.
What made you do that? Why? Were you just up so much?
No, it was something like I woke up in the morning and I was just like, you know what? That's it. Today is the day. I'm just gonna take it all out. And I was like, oh, it's pretty high compared to what it's been. And so I got it out when it was at like 51. I bought way lower than that because I got these like a year or 2 years ago.
Oh wow! So you're really up.
Yeah. So I was. No, but then I felt bad because I was like, damn, it went up to 52. And then it just like, I was like checking it every day, like for the past. And then yesterday I was like, okay, good. I made the right choice.
You did. So the funny thing is, it was kind of luck. So you're saying it was luck. Did you?
Yeah, it was pure luck. Yeah.
Pure luck. Which nobody really saw this little drop coming. Everybody thought it was going to keep going up. But this is why I'm creating this today. I want people to understand the market is up and down. Nothing goes straight up forever, right? If you see a coin going up and up and up, that means it's going to go down soon, right? So I try to make sure in creating this content that I train people not to buy when it's going up. If you see it going up, just wait. it's gonna come back down. It may not come all the way back down, but it's better to get into the habit of selling on the way up than buying on the way up. This is the major problem with society. This is how wealth is transferred, right? Rich people, they call whales in the crypto world, they make it so it looks like it's going to keep going up and people keep buying. And then they are the ones that sell it all at the height. And they're the ones that create these drops. And they do it pretty much on the weekdays because large institutions, they have offices. So on the weekend, what I've seen so far is that on the weekend, they pump it, right? And not pump it through them. It's basically regular people like us. We're buying over the weekend, feeling good. And then when the office opens, they sell and they take that money, right? So this happens with stock too. This is like not, and this happens in real estate. It happens with all types of investments. But the more volatile an investment is, the more money people can make. So with crypto is pretty much the most volatile asset right now. People can make a lot of money if you sell. You don't lose if you sell though. Like right now, Joanna, you were up because you sold for years. You had it for years and now it's pretty high. Even in the past few months, it hasn't been this high, so you did well. But most people don't do that. Most people.
I remember like how you were saying, like, kind of like watch the market too. So I knew, I was like, wow, it hasn't been 50 in such a long time. And that's what got me. And then when it went up to 51, I was like, this is it. I got to do it,
So did you, when you first bought the Bitcoin, what made you do it? Because that's pretty early. If you bought it a few years ago, that's early.
Yeah. I mean, I think I bought it. It was, I don't remember the exact amount, but I mean, I didn't buy much. Because I was like, I believe in it, but I really don't believe in it. But, I could just gamble this money and I'm just going to put it there and just leave it, But wow. I did it on Robinhood and I remember you telling me, you got to take it out. You got to take it out. So, yeah.
So, I mean, that's good. That's a good story. I mean, you lucked out. Oh, sorry.
Definitely, yeah.
You lucked out, but it's a good luck out. I mean, sometimes, it goes the opposite way. So, what are you thinking about the future, though? Are you still going to try to do crypto? Oh, I moved her out. Sorry, come back up if you can. Are you looking to buy more crypto? Are you looking to buy more crypto, or are you kind of?
Yes. So now I'm buying it on Coinbase.
Okay.
However, but they do. I saw that they do charge, and I the one thing I liked about maybe I'm looking at it the wrong I don't know if I'm not really familiar with Coinbase, but I remember like liking on Robinhood the app that you can see like all your gains, like your total gains, your daily gains, how much money you put in, how much you have in value. And in Coinbase, I can't even see how much money I've bought. I mean, I can tell how much I've bought on each stock or on each crypto.
So this is a big thing right now because crypto is so early. There's not a lot of the stock. Stock has been around for like 100 years, right? So they have a lot of maturity, understanding of the ways to do this, the best ways to do it. Coinbase is the first ever publicly traded app that allows you to buy crypto. That's the first one ever. That's how early we are. So a lot of these things, I was talking to one of my consulting clients today about that too, because he was pretty frustrated that it's hard for him to tell how much he's up. And I'm like, the thing is, it doesn't really exist yet because it's so new. And that's a good problem and a bad problem. He knows he's up. He just wants to know exactly how much he's up. And that's the part where it's like the only real way. Me too, yeah. The real way. So as you go forward, the real way is to create a spreadsheet. And when you put $500 or $100, put in that spreadsheet. $500, this was the price. That's really it's a data entry thing right now till some applications are created because they don't exist. The only thing that comes close and it's not there yet either is tax software. So I just paid $200 for a tax software to basically take all my data and tell me how much I'm going to owe in taxes. Because that's another thing, Joanna. I know you don't live in New York, but depending on what state you live in, you're going to owe taxes on that money now because you just made a gain. Mm-hmm. So the government is like, all right, give me my piece, right? But if you don't understand that and you just keep doing things and then you come back and government's like, oh yeah, you owe me $100,000. You're like, I don't have that. Then you're screwed, right? So this is where, depending where you are, you got to make sure you understand the tax rules on things like this. So I know I'm in New York, so I'm gonna pay. So that's why I got to get this tax offer. Texas, you don't pay any capital gains?
No, you do, but I mean, with everything, there's, if you buy property, if you buy, there's different ways to go around it too.
Sure. And that's where this is all new. But this is where crypto is so new and so important. Mm-hmm. What I'm hearing right now is that on the tax forms of this year, the first question in the document is, did you buy cryptocurrency? So they know this is like a big deal because a lot of people, took a lot of this unemployment money or anything they're making and they're putting it in crypto. So there's gains, but the gains, again, there's not financial advice. I'm just telling you what I think I know and what I do. The gains come when you sell, if you made any money. So if you sold and you made $1, if you sold that under a year, you pay one level of capital gains. If you sold it over a year, you pay less % capital gains. So right now, what I did with that trade last week, I had the money in 24 hours, less than 24 hours. So I owe taxes on that money. Like if I got a freelance project, somebody paid me to make a website, they gave me this money, I owe taxes the same exact way. Like if it might be the same in Texas, you got to find that out. But it's good to understand that and make sure you report it because this is on the blockchain. There's no way to not to get away with it, right? Eventually they will see it. But you know what's different about you? You did it on Robinhood. So Robinhood has reporting, right? You can export your tax document from Robinhood and it will tell you how much, you get your gain was for your accountant.
Yeah.
So, all right. Anybody else? Do you have any other questions about what's going on right now? What you're gonna buy next? Any questions like that?
No, I'm okay. I'm staying low key right now.
You're just gonna keep the cash?
Yeah, I'm remodeling my house. I need to do a bunch of stuff. Yeah.
So that's good.
Much money. I mean, I wish I had invested back, more money than I really did, but yeah.
So this is the thing.
Glad that I got it out.
So this is the thing, right? At the end of the day, it's gonna go up, it's gonna go down, but over years, it's a big money difference. I was talking to my father, and we invested in a real estate property 2 years ago, right? In Dominican Republic. Everybody who knows me knows I do the Airbnb stuff with my dad and a bunch of other people. We bought this property in 2019, right? 2020. It was right when COVID hit. If we would have put the same amount, if we were to put the same amount of money in that we put into that property into Ethereum, I'll start with Bitcoin. If we were to put that same money into Bitcoin, it would be worth over $500,000 right now. If we were to put that same amount of money into Ethereum, it will be worth $2.2 million right now. So that's in 1 year. This is so early that if you can put money in there and forget about it, like in 401k, you're going to look up in multiple years, 5, 6, 7 years, and it's going to be a lot more money. I just read a thing, and again, it's not financial advice, but they're saying by next year, because Ethereum was $150 last year, and it's $4,000 almost right now. They're saying by next year, this time, it probably is going to be $33,000. So imagine, like, over time, it's definitely going to grow slower over time. That's why volatility early is good. But as it gets more stabilized later, the growth is less. But you are still early. Less than 5% of the planet owns any of this. So if you put $100 every now and then, you're going to come back in multiple years, and that's going to be thousands of dollars. So that's where, I want to make sure people are understanding, what are you doing? If you're treating it like a 401k, just put it in there, forget it. Don't watch the market, because the ups and downs will kill you. If you are thinking about being a trader and saying, I'm going to put it in right now at whatever price it is right now, and if I see it get to this price, I'm going to sell it. I don't care about the future. I just want that money right now. Make a spreadsheet, put that amount in that you bought it at, and then put what you want to sell it at, and start that process, because I didn't start out that way. I just put money in and said, I just want to understand it. And now I'm seeing the ups and downs, and I'm like, man, I really wish I would have sold some that day. But it's hard to do that in the moment. You think it's going to keep going up. So you're like, oh my God, let's keep it going. But it never keeps going up. So whenever you see it going up, you should have a strategy to say, okay, I'm going to sell. What I'm doing right now is I sell 5%. So let's say I have $100 worth of Ethereum and it goes up to $150. I'm selling 5% of that $150.
Miguel, can you refresh the room? You got new people coming in so that we all can catch up, including me that I was late. Just bring us up to date where you are.
Okay. So I'm going to refresh the room on the Clubhouse. If you want to have a conversation, jump on the Clubhouse. Definitely follow me on Twitter, because part of what I'm doing now is I'm retweeting a lot of the crypto news. And if you are into crypto and you're not on Twitter, you're missing out on the best news source. All right. So let me refresh the room. Today I'm talking about, should you be selling your crypto right now? How to create your own financial strategy when it comes to crypto. Because of the volatility, the ups and downs are going to be here, and they're going to get worse in the next few months. So if you are investing right now, I want you to start thinking first. Am I investing for the long term, meaning over a year, over 2 years, over 3 years? Or am I putting money in right now as a gamble or a trade? Meaning, if I put this money right now, when I see this certain number, I'm going to sell it. That's more of a trade. Or as a gamble, I'm saying I'm willing to lose it all, and whatever it gets to, and I see that, I'm going to sell it. And that's what I did with Dogecoin. I put $100 in Dogecoin when it was 3 cents, and it went up a lot. And it's down a lot more than when it was at its peak. If I would have been a trader, I would have sold it then. But that was a gamble. I knew it was a gamble coin. I'm just let it ride out. If it ever goes higher than a number that I'm super comfortable taking, I'll do that. But I want everybody to start thinking that way. And then right now, as you see these ups and downs, start practicing your strategy and then stick to it. Because one thing that can really happen is you can get to a point where you let your emotions take over and you're like, wait, this is going to go up and up and up. And then the crash happens, or a big crash, because that's another thing that happens even in stock, in real estate. Big crashes do come. And if you haven't taken out some winnings, you're going to feel worse, right? Unless you're not looking at it and you're treating it like a 401k, you're putting it there and forgetting about it. That is the ideal scenario. I really wish I could be that right now and just put it there and forget about it. But I'm really trying to take the most advantage of this volatility and this new asset class. And I'm also trying to understand it from a business scenario, because that's the difference between crypto and stock. Crypto is used as a business tool for crypto businesses. Stock is used as a public sentiment, but not used to grow the business as much as crypto is. So that's where I'm really trying to understand it for companies that we're creating. I'm consulting with all of that, because it's such a new paradigm shift that there's so much money to be made here if you understand it. So that was my quick refresh, but I wanted to go around the room and see what questions people have. I know, Brian, you had some questions on the Instagram. Do you want to come up and ask? Ozzy, if you have any questions, Rima, Anibal, Paco, Damaris.
Yeah, let me jump in.
very quickly, Miguel, and just share with the group my own story, because this is the classical story that you end up sometimes knowing too much for your own good. When I teach people, if they come in with tremendous amount of MBAs, PhDs, I know I'm in trouble, because they know so much that it's difficult to teach them anything else. Their glass is full. So I'm using that as a personal reference, because I majored with a BBA, Bachelor of Administration, major in finance, was in banking institutions in the state level. I knew a lot about the traditional way of doing financing, and that blocked me from being able to understand Miguel's new language and new concepts, including that I kept saying to myself, but okay, what does Miguel know about financing? My God, he's an artist. He doesn't know shit. He doesn't know shit. And he's going now into banking, and he's going to finance, for God's sakes. Paco, use your senses. This is a young man, swimming in the middle of the ocean. He doesn't even know how to swim. But all of that was not true. I was in error. I was incorrect. And part of the language that I've taken off, which I introduced Miguel to, and I want Miguel to take it off, is this whole issue of gambling. I've taken gambling and I put it away. It used to belong to the old Paco. I've taken the language of volatility, which in the old language, if the stocks drop by 10, 15%, a lot of people were in trouble. A lot of people were losing money. So I've taken volatility, not necessarily out, but I've taken that volatility in this new system, in this new game, whatever you want to call it. It is natural for it to dip 10%, sometimes 15%, and then at some point go right up again. The forces of market participation is still play in this market, meaning that sometimes the people like Elon Musk dropping in $1.6 billion into anything has to affect it. It's the difference between you going in a large pond and dropping a small rock in the middle of it, and it creates certain ripples. Going in and getting a 5,000-pound boulder and dropping it into that lake is going to create waves and tsunamis. These markets work the same way. So Elon Musk doing all of these things do affect. But not as much as it would have affected if Elon Musk would have gone into a regular stock and bought $1.5 billion. So these are the differences and the subtle differences. But I've gotten to a point where I don't beat up on Miguel anymore. Miguel has learned this fairly well. Is continuing to grow because these markets change minute to minute. Regulations change minute to minute. So you got to pay attention. So what's your point, Paco? My point is that I've chosen to be involved in cryptocurrencies for long term, meaning that I have no interest in trading on a daily basis, on a monthly basis, or something like that. In 3 months, if I see that I got an investment in, it has grown, 4 times, 6 times, 7 times, I may take out my original investment, but that's not my goal. My goal is to stay on, and so as everybody knows, I've been around for 8 decades and a little more. So my objective, my plan, my purpose is to invest at least for the next 5 years without thinking of trading. And in 5 years, I would look to see how that goes. Long-winded, I know. I apologize, but this is Paco, and I'm done speaking.
Thank you, Paco. Yeah, I mean, I've been working on Paco. Paco's my partner. We've been working together for about 4 years. I've been slowly working on Paco. I started him out by having him read the book, The Blockchain Revolution. And back then, I still hadn't bought any crypto myself. I just knew the technology was revolutionary and it was going to change all of business, all of finance, but I still did not buy crypto yet. And of course, I kick myself every day. And you know what they say, there's the saying, right? What's the second best time to plant trees? Today. Of course, any other day before that would have been better, but the second best is today, right? So Mark,
the actual quote is a Chinese quote that says, when is the best plant to plant? What is the best time to plant a tree? And the Chinese says 20 years ago was the best time to do it, but the second best time is right now. So that's what
there you go. So there you go.
Jump in right now.
So to me, up or down, I think the learning of putting some money into the space will benefit you, because I'll tell you, as a technologist, I was around when the internet first started to boom in 2000. I just got out of college, and I remember thinking this is going to change everything. And there were certain businesses I would go into, and they were like, oh, why you spend too much time on that internet thing? Just keep making these print designs. And I'm like, do you not understand this is dead? This industry is dead right now. I'm not going to continue working in an industry that I know is dead. Right? And I was right. And crypto is that. Crypto is that. And I'm not saying to drop everything, but I am saying that if you jump in now, again, not financial advice, you will be much better off in the future. Right? So, all right. So let's keep going. I want to know any other questions. Anybody else looking at these markets with questions? Because I definitely want to make it more of an interactive thing. I know I'm talking a lot, but I don't know how much of this stuff is easily understood. I know it sounds like rocket science a lot of times, and I'm studying it so much that sometimes I forget some of the simple, things that most people ask. So any questions, any thoughts on anything that's just been said? Anywhere that anybody's watching, because I'm live on a bunch of different places. No? Okay. So, Milan.
I have a question. So
go ahead.
If I'm going to start a wallet today.
Okay.
What should I be doing for the next 3 months?
All right. So first things first, if you haven't started anything today, I want you to go to cbmiguel.com. What that is my Coinbase referral link, cbmiguel.com. That's going to give you $10 of free Bitcoin. If you use that link to sign up, once you put $100 into Coinbase, they give you $10 of free Bitcoin. That one day, that $10 could be $1,000. Who knows? Right? So that's the first step. Then the second step is, I personally, again, not financial advice, I think the 3 best coins to buy this second are Ethereum and Solana. Why is that? These are different blockchains. Bitcoin is its own blockchain. Ethereum is its own blockchain. Solana is its own blockchain. If you would have asked me this question 1 month ago, all these answers would have been different, because this stuff is changing so fast. What I see right now is Bitcoin was the first. Bitcoin was growing the fastest out of any asset class in history for the last 10 years. Ethereum came out 5 years later. Currently, Ethereum is growing much faster than Bitcoin grew at the same time. So, like I said, if I would have invested in Ethereum versus Bitcoin, I'd have a lot more money today. Now, the third one I see, basically from a technical standpoint and a use case, is Solana. And right now, Solana is about $175. But Solana,
Solana is $193, right? And last week you were in my house, and I bought Solana at $93.
Exactly.
So in a week, I have doubled my money.
So the reason why Solana, and I mean, again, not financial advice, I'm going to just explain why I see what I see. Bitcoin was the standard. Bitcoin created the blockchain, but it was only used as money, right? And again, early on it was volatile, but now it has a longer shelf life, so it's getting less volatile. It's still going to make more money than probably most things, but it's not as volatile, and it's not going to grow as fast as Ethereum. Ethereum is 5 years younger, but it's benefiting from all of the attention that Bitcoin gets, right? And Ethereum, many people use Ethereum all day. If you think about NFTs, if you use NFTs, buy NFTs, that's all happening on Ethereum. Ethereum is used much more than Bitcoin right now. So Ethereum, I believe, is going to grow faster than Bitcoin. Now, let's go to the technicals. Bitcoin can only do a few transactions per second. Ethereum can only do 5 to 15 transactions per second. So technologically, there's a limitation there currently that may not help it scale past a certain phase right this second. So for like the next year or two, Ethereum is going to grow no matter what. Solana does 50,000 transactions per second, which is up there with the Visas, MasterCards of the world. Ethereum can't do that, right? So right now, a lot of developers are looking at developing on the Solana blockchain for two reasons: the transactions per second and then the gas fee. If you don't know what the gas fee is, and this is why I go into the ecosystems and I use the coin. I don't just buy the coin and hope for it to go up. I go into the blockchain. I try to see how people are going to use it, because I see all these blockchains as little banks. I look at it as there's a mall and a bunch of banks are opening up and they're all competing for our money. So I go into every bank and I walk around. I poke the signs, right? So Solana is growing faster than Ethereum did, and it solves a lot of the problems that Ethereum has. So it's only $170 right now. If it ever gets to $3,000, what makes more sense to invest in right now? So I'm telling people right this second, this is what I'm doing. I'm looking at ecosystems. I'm putting money into ecosystems, testing things out, learning how to navigate in those ecosystems to see what I believe people are going to more likely do, because how do things grow in value? People have to use them, right? So it's not just about the coin and hoping that it goes up. It's about, do you see a lot of people doing this? So if I look right now and I look at the NFT space, which is the most used thing out of all cryptocurrency right now, all of that is happening on Ethereum. But the gas prices are getting out of control. Yesterday, the gas price was like $500 to just make one transaction. So let's say we're going to buy an NFT for $50. You have to pay $500 transaction fee. That's not going to work. On Solana, that same transaction will cost 0.0006 cents. So what's happening now is a lot of people are thinking NFTs are going to go there until Ethereum figures out the gas fee problem, which is about a year, maybe 2 away. So this is where, when you're investing, you're basically trying to think about what you think people are going to do, right? So in my own opinion, I think more people are going to end up using Solana. It's going to grow faster. I'm not saying it's going to overtake Ethereum, but as an investment right now, I think it's a better investment than Ethereum. I think Ethereum is a better investment than Bitcoin. But I would say you want to own all three to be safe. That's just my current scenario. But I'm also, if I go deeper, I'm also looking at the coins that come out in that ecosystem. So let's say Solana. There's a coin called Serum, Radium, Mango Markets. Those coins are going to grow probably more than Solana will, because they're so new, right? Solana's growing. So the only thing to do when you grow your money is to buy more coins in that ecosystem. So those coins end up growing a lot more in percentage. So that's what I'm currently doing. I'm going into these ecosystems. I'm investing in the overall coin and in the popular projects on that ecosystem. And that's how I got a 45% gain in 24 hours, because I invested in the most popular coin in a specific ecosystem, and it grew really fast, and I sold it really quickly. So, all right, any other questions? All right, Damaris, where are you with your crypto journey? Milan, nice to meet you. Antonia, where are you? And of course, I want to just answer questions mostly, but if there's no questions, I'll just keep talking. Milan, I saw your mic come off. Yeah, you have a question?
Yeah, I think Solana is going to be similar to Binance, right? Binance recently came out with their NFT marketplace, and then they skyrocketed up to $400, right? So I think Solana's going to do the same thing, but the only difference between Binance and Solana is Solana you actually can buy on Coinbase. Binance you can't, right? So
yes.
Binance has their own limiting cap, right, because of that technology. So
I think Solana could definitely hit the thousands and 2000s with the momentum they have going right now.
So not only that, if you use Solana, so again, this is why I say you want to like it's like investing in a property but never visiting the town, right? You want to invest once you understand the town. So when you use Solana, it's pretty much the easiest thing I've seen to use. Easier than Bitcoin, easier than well, Bitcoin is just to send money. Easier than Ethereum, easier than Polygon, easier than Avalanche. So these are the ecosystems that I play around in and test because of this. You like you just said it. You can buy Solana on Coinbase, send that Solana straight into the Solana ecosystem and start doing things, buying NFTs, buying other coins pretty instantly. Like it's the fastest, cheapest thing I've ever seen. With other ecosystems, you kind of have to go through Ethereum. You have to send your money to Ethereum, which is like MetaMask. I don't know, this is a little advanced, but you send it to MetaMask and then you have to send it to that ecosystem. But you have to pay a gas fee to do that. And then you have to pay a gas fee to bring the money back. So it becomes like right now, I told a lot of people early on, buy Polygon because it's going to explode. But right now, it's hard to take your money out of Polygon because you got to pay the gas fee, which is crazy on Ethereum. But with Solana, you could go straight from Coinbase to Solana. The fee is low. The speed is high. So to me, it's the most seamless blockchain around right now. Seamless, cheapest thing you can do. So I see that exploding. Once people understand that it's a one-step process, cheap to buy NFTs versus going to Ethereum, spending way more money, taking way more time, I think people are going to start doing more Solana. Like you said, Binance has a lot of red flags. Like there's been a lot of corruption, they say, in the Binance Smart Chain. So people kind of shy away from it. That's why it's not on Coinbase, because Coinbase doesn't trust it. And a lot of people don't trust it. Again, not financial advice, up to you. There's a lot of people I know that use it and make money in it, but you know, these big organizations don't trust it. So I don't really use Binance.
Even with Solana, Ethereum is still the most trusted, right? Because Ethereum has the most foundation. Even with the ENS domains, right? Solana does not have that. I mean, they have it, but they don't have it in a way that Ethereum did it, right? Ethereum did it so you can basically have your ENS domain and make your own bank and have other people have their own sub-accounts under your bank. You know, it's kind of crazy what Ethereum is doing. People aren't using the full technology of Ethereum yet, but the things that Ethereum can do is way ahead of Solana still.
So this is what you're talking about, the network effect, right? What happens is kind of like Uber and Lyft. Uber came out first, and Uber dominated in the beginning, and we even call cabs now Uber, even if we're taking a Lyft, right? So what's happening right now with Ethereum is Ethereum has that first mover advantage, and like Milan is saying, there's a lot of things built on Ethereum because it's been around for 5 years. So people have been doing stuff. Solana pretty much just really launched not that long ago. So now they're starting to build stuff on it and more people are going to use it. But Ethereum has a pretty large lead. So I look at it like Uber and Lyft. I don't know if Solana will ever pass Ethereum and become the number one, but I do believe it could be number two. And investing early in number two before it even gets close to Ethereum, you're talking about at least right now, it's about 10 times different in value. Ethereum, I think, is worth like 400 billion and Solana is worth like 40 billion, right? So if it ever gets to the point of right now of Ethereum, you're 10xing your money. And right now, if you look at the history, it's moving faster than even Ethereum did to get there. Like it just jumped like $30 billion in like a month. So if that continues, it's a better investment. But again, if I just follow my own strategy, it has been going straight up for a lot of days in a row. So I don't know how long that can happen. I'm going to show the screen. I know you guys are not on Clubhouse. You can't see it, but it's been going up straight for, I'm going to tell you, since August 21st. That's a long time. I guess I had a small dip here on August 24th. But we are in September 8th, and it's been going up almost steadily the whole way. So part of me is looking at, okay, let's wait for it to drop a little bit before I buy more. I'm looking at the other coins like Serum, Mango, Radium, and I'm buying those coins more than I'm buying Solana because Solana is just going crazy. I'll wait for it to come back down before I buy more. All right, so I hope that was all your questions, Milano, or comments. If not, just jump on. But Damaris, you had a question? Anybody else? How about you, Antonia? Somebody mic off?
Hi.
Oops. Hello. Yeah.
Hi. Hello. Yeah. I was just listening to Baco, and I was thinking if I don't know. I just wondering if we do trading with crypto. I mean, everything is so changeable and volatile. So why we don't? I don't know, because I really don't know. I just know crypto. I bought crypto like in May, so I'm not very familiar. But I was thinking if every day is change a lot, and sometimes I see that I get some money, and then next day all my money is gone. When it's gone, no, because I didn't sell it. But why? I mean, is that trading so difficult, or is that dangerous? I don't know. I just see that crypto is not like stock market. I think it's easier. I don't know.
Yeah. So this is where it gets a little dangerous because you're right. This is why I made a big bet last week, because I was like, I've seen this before 2 times in a row and I didn't take full advantage. I'll give you the example. When I first saw it, Uniswap was like $3. Uniswap is the number one way you trade coins on Ethereum. So when I first started looking into the ecosystem of Ethereum, I saw Uniswap. It was very cheap. And then I just forgot about it. And I went back and looked, and it was like $30. And I was like, oh my God, that grew way more than Ethereum did in that timeline. So I said, man, I missed that. But again, I was like, all right, it's probably still going to grow. Let me buy a little bit of coins. This is when I first started learning how to borrow money against myself. And I started buying everything I saw, which was not a good move. But I learned. I treated it as a learning experience, right? But I did buy Uniswap. And it kept going up. Of course, goes up and down. So, and then when Polygon launched, I said, what is the Uniswap of Polygon? So I looked at, it was called QuickSwap. QuickSwap was like $150 a coin. So here's another big thing that I want to make sure people know. If the coin is worth $150, that doesn't mean you need to spend $150. You could spend $10 and buy just that percentage of the coin. There's still people that don't know that. I just want to make sure people know that. So QuickSwap was $150 a coin. And I said, if this is just like Uniswap, it's going to go up. So I bought one coin for $150. In 7 days, it went to $1,500. It 10x'd in like 7 days. And of course, I was like, this is going to keep going up. I'm rich. And it went right back down to $150. And that was where I was like, I should have sold. I was up 10x. Why would I not have sold something? And I said, next time I see that, I'm selling something. So I learned that process, right? The third time, it was with Avalanche. Avalanche last week, same exact thing. I found the exchange. I said, this is going to go up. I borrowed money to buy it. And when it went up, I sold it though. That was my learning, right? The first time I just saw it happen, didn't know what to do. I didn't do anything. Second time I saw it happening and I did dip my toe in the water, but I didn't do the right thing because I didn't understand. The third time I made sure I did it the right way. Of course, it could have been bad, right? I could have went the opposite way, but I just saw this happen multiple times already. And I bet on my intuition that I saw this happen, that this would happen again. So like what you're saying, Antonia, you can make that decision. And then with QuickSwap, I kept seeing it go up and down. One day it'd be $300. The next day it'd be $800. The next day it'd be $200. The next day it'd be $900. And I was like, this keeps happening. Why don't I just take a risk and borrow some money again off myself with the safety nets that I do have and see if it happens again? So I bought QuickSwap at $260 and it went up to $700. And again, this time I sold it, but I gained. I didn't wait and hopefully it goes more and more and up. And it did go higher than the 700 actually. But I was like, look, I'm not going to be greedy. I made double or more of my money. Let me jump out. You know, if it goes up even more, cool, but I know I made money. So that's a thing that if you are going to be in the trading game, make sure you don't let the emotions of it going up catch you. You know, just give yourself a number and say, if it hits that, I'm going to sell no matter what. Don't worry, or don't sell the whole thing, right? Maybe just sell 80% of it. You're still up, and if it goes up more, you still benefit from that. So that's kind of what I'm doing right this second. Again, I don't fully recommend you do that till you've spent some time watching, because if you are early and you do it, you're probably going to do it wrong. But again, I actually believe that's tuition. You learned, right? And now the next time you're going to do it better. That's just my 2 cents of it all. So
you can also use DAI, right? DAI should be your best friend when you're trading, especially on Coinbase. Like what I do, not financial advice, but you know, like I'll trade throughout the day, and then when I go to sleep, I make sure I convert all my coins into DAI. So I earn interest while I'm sleeping, and then in the morning I'll retrade, right? So I don't have to deal with the ups and downs, right? I know how much it's going to go up, and once it's up, I take it right out and put it in DAI, right? And then once it goes down, I buy it again, and then watch it go back up. That's what I'm doing with Solana, right? So
okay, see, so
that, but it's a good strategy.
So if you don't know what DAI is, I know there's some people different levels of understanding. DAI is what's called a stable coin, so it's kind of like a dollar. So there's multiple stable coins. So what Milan is saying is that he'll take his gain, keep it in cash while he goes to sleep. So he already knows by the time that night is over, he's made whatever amount of money. He's fine with that. If it goes up overnight, he's cool with just, he needs to be able to sleep at night, so he makes it cash. Then when he wakes up in the morning, he starts over. So this is a trader, that's a trader mindset, right? If you are thinking about it like your 401k, but also Milan has been in this for a while. He's building blockchain companies. He knows a lot. So in the very beginning, if you're just starting and you got a beginner's mind like Paco, and also it's a time, right? Like it takes a lot of time. Like I was telling somebody, I just made a bunch of money in 24 hours. But then I thought about it and I was like, that wasn't really 24 hours. I was watching that coin for days. Like I was like a lion in the Serengeti watching elk just pass me and waiting for the perfect one. So it's not like I made that money in that 24 hours. I needed more time than that to figure that out. So it is pretty time consuming if that's what you want to do as a trader. And that's where I'm looking at myself and I'm saying, I don't really want to be watching charts all day. That's not my goal. But right now, I do see this as the best way to grow your wealth out of anything else in history. I just found a video by this guy named Raoul Paul, R-A-O. He used to run Goldman Sachs's hedge fund. He said, I've literally never seen anything like this, and all of my money is in crypto right now. And he mostly has Ethereum. He said he's never seen anything like this opportunity with Ethereum right now. He's saying he literally took all of his money and put it in Ethereum. So I hear people like that, and I'm like, this is what I've been seeing too. But I also want to just learn, right? So not financial advice, and he'll tell you the same thing. It's not financial advice. But if you want to take your deep dive into crypto, go on YouTube. Of course, follow me, Miguel Sanchez World. Go on Twitter. Of course, follow me, M Sanchez World. But follow these big hedge fund, ex-hedge fund people. They've all gone into crypto because they go to where the money is best being, the easiest way to make money. And right now, crypto is it. But you got to learn. It's the easiest way to make, and probably lose. But like Antonia said, you only lose if you sell, right? If you believe in crypto and you bought Bitcoin at $65,000 a coin, you did not lose money right now. If you sold it, you lost. But in 3 years, many people believe Bitcoin will be worth hundreds of thousands. Did you really lose? Right? Again, you gotta look at your timeline. How much are you looking at this as an investment or a trade or a gamble? With me, I'm looking at this as my retirement plan. Once I get to a certain amount of crypto, that means I don't need to work anymore. Not when I'm 65 and I retire, I pull out my crypto and I travel the world. I'm looking at it as I'm trying to get these wallets up to a certain dollar amount, and then I don't need to work for anybody I don't work for anybody right now. I'm an entrepreneur, but I get to really choose what I want to do. Sometimes I got to do stuff I don't want to do still, right? But if I get these wallets to a certain dollar amount, I get to do anything I want for the rest of my life. That's what I'm trying to do as fast as possible. And I do believe cryptocurrency is the fastest route to that. But I'm not only doing that too, right? I would tell you, even that Raoul Paul guy, he's pretty smart. So he has real estate properties, but he says all of his investment money right now is going into crypto. But I don't know if that should be the case for everybody because everybody's not him. He's studied macroeconomics for 30 years. He knows more than us. So I wouldn't just follow him blindly. I would tell you, do your research. Start understanding the difference between Bitcoin and Ethereum, the difference between Ethereum and Solana. And I've explained a lot of them here already. But I have my own understanding. You need to say, all right, I don't really understand this blockchain thing. Some people, they don't understand that, and that's fine. You could go on YouTube, watch 10 videos till you understand it. Ask questions on Twitter. People are very helpful because the more crypto gains in use, the more all of our money grows. Because right now, like I said, check this number out. At the height of the internet was growing at 68% a year. Right now, Ethereum is growing at 120% a year, right? So at the height of the internet, we're talking about the internet. Everybody thinks that was one of the biggest things to ever happen in history, biggest way to make money. Crypto is dwarfing that, right? And we are so early that number is going to go down, but it's going to go down. It's going to get to the height of the internet. So we are super duper early. And when all these other people get in and start buying Bitcoin and Ethereum, and you just saw yesterday, El Salvador bought 150, I think, million Bitcoin or something like that for the country. Cuba is about to accept Bitcoin as legal tender. This is going to make more and more money in that pot, and it's going to grow how much these things are worth. So this is another thing he says, a blind monkey can make money right now because all of this is so early that it's almost impossible for it not to be higher than it is right now. Less than 5% of the world uses it right now. Talking about billions of people still need to get on. Go ahead, Paco.
Well, what I want to say is that just like I put some words in the parking lot, like gambling and some other things, I want to take the word "you are early" and I want to put it in the parking lot. Because when I hear people, even someone as advanced as you, talking about early, I believe that you're using early in the old structure of what we thought early was.
Okay.
I.e., change is happening at the same level that it was happening in the stock market 5 years ago, 10 years ago. You have said the opposite, of course, that things are moving fast. We are not early. If things are moving at a exponential rate as opposed to a linear rate, this word early doesn't mean anything. Because if you say early, I can wait another 6 months, another year until they figure this out, and then I'll jump in. it is conceivable that in the next 12 months, that train would be so far away that just like you say right now, I wish I would have invested in Apple when Apple was first came out.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I would have invested in Amazon when Amazon came out. We all had an opportunity when Amazon went public to go on Amazon, and we all would be millionaires. But we didn't trust it because the whole thing has to be about trust, and no one can make Paco more trustful about the system. The only person that can feel comfortable at a trust level is Paco. Which means that I got to work. It means that I got to study. When by the time Miguel Sanchez said to me, "I want you to read blockchain," there ain't no freaking way I would have read no blockchain book.
Paco was like 80 years old. I'm like, you got to read this book about the blockchain.
My wife knowing me, the year before, she had read a book called Abundance by Peter Diamandis, and I read Abundance. And then I read his other book called Bold. I had 2 books under my belt by the time Miguel came up with blockchain. My brain, my psyche, my spirit was ready now to look into blockchain. So it's gradual and it's a process. To me, it's an incredible opportunity for anyone, but for someone as old as I am, this is like candy in a candy store, and realizing that I rejected and I pushed back Miguel so much on this issue that I can't even begin to tell you, and I won't, all the things that I said to Miguel. But now I'm in because I've broken through a wall, and all of this to say that you have to do the homework if you really want to do this. Just like everything else, it takes work. It doesn't come from heaven. It's not easy money. Yes, it is, and yes, it'll be more money than you've ever made in your life, but you have to invest. You know, it's like this Clubhouse business that we're here in Clubhouse. You know, I saw a little while ago, Melania Corbin was on the audience. Melania Corbin, I go to her room at 4 o'clock in the morning our time, which is 10 o'clock her time in Spain. These people invest. These people are passionate. These people have fire in their belly. These people have purpose. They have a seat. Unless you're able to see this the way that I'm trying to say it in language that probably doesn't make any sense, unless you see it this way, it's just another fad. It's just another flavor of the month, whatever. So I'm not sure if I confused the issue, Miguel.
No. I think you know, like Paco's kind of like superhuman, right? He's 82. Most people think he just be sitting in a beach right now. He's made money in his life. He could retire into the sunset, and the guy's reading blockchain books, right? So when I look at that, I hope it motivates you if you're under 82, whatever age that is, to say, if he could do it, why am I not doing it, right? Like, he literally doesn't have to. Of course, most people want to have more money than they currently do. If the richest people in the world are saying this is the fastest way to grow wealth they've ever seen, why would you not at least spend a little bit of time trying to understand it? It may not be the asset class for you because of the volatility. That is a thing that I've seen. There's people that when these drops happen, they get real emotional. Like, oh my God, I just lost so much money. And I'm like, but how much were you up before it went down? Oh, I was up 50 grand. Okay, like, you might be up 100 grand after this drop, right? But again, you got to really train yourself to get that muscle, right? And in early times, I was like, I'm not a trader. Just Antonio, to get back to your point, I said, I'm gonna put this money in, and I'm gonna just try to learn more. But then I would see, oh my God, I was up a lot, and now I'm not up as much. If I would have just sold a little bit, I would feel better, I think. So I started to do that. But then I'm like, wait a minute, I think I keep seeing a pattern here. Let me try this again. And I'm going on about 4 or 5 times where I saw the pattern and I moved and I sold it and I made money. And I'm like, am I getting trapped into being a trader? I don't think I want to be a trader. But hey, there's worse ways to make money, right? Like, there's people that got to go do jobs they hate. if you just got to watch a chart, like there are worse ways to make money. And that's not even telling you the whole decentralized finance thing where you're getting way more interest on your money. They're giving away free money. If you can just learn all this stuff, it's a game changer. Paco, you had something else to say?
Yeah, I just want to change a little bit from a fastball that you've been throwing fastballs down the middle to a changeup, maybe. And maybe ask Antonia a question if she's still here. Antonia, are you still listening to us from China, or where in the world are you right now?
I am in Spain.
Or you're in Spain?
Yeah, if I were in China, I would not be able to use Clubhouse without VPN. And also maybe not able to talk about crypto. So now I am in Spain.
I got you. But you lived in China for what, 14 years?
Yeah, I went to China in 2007 until last year. I was there.
Wow. And China just banned crypto, actually, right? They banned a lot of things.
No, only crypto. But yes.
So this is the thing, right? What's happening right now in the world is there's countries that control the world, right? They're top level countries, America, China, and they don't want to lose their dominance, right? And how do they control the populations? With America, it's the dollar. With China, it's, regulation. But now crypto is kind of operates outside of that, and it works like its own country in a way. So what's happening now is governments are like, uh-oh. But then there's some governments like El Salvador, Colombia, Cuba that are saying, this is our way out of under the foot of countries like America, right? And they're sticking it to America by saying, we're going to take this as legal tender. We don't care about the dollar. And now let's see where this goes. Like, this is going to be very interesting next couple years, because I can see the domino effect already happening. As soon as El Salvador did it, all these other countries said, we're going to do that too. And El Salvador made it official like yesterday or Tuesday. Yeah, yesterday. That was the first day in history that Bitcoin was legal tender. Cryptocurrency. Like Paco said, there were people that said, crypto will never be money. You're crazy if you think crypto is going to be money. In less than 10 years, it became a currency in a country. Less than 10 years. So where this goes from here, let's ride the train together. Let's keep in touch. I would love to hear more questions. I do this every Wednesday. I'm part of the Beginner's Mind group. Paco is also. We go live every day talking about different topics. Anibal is as well. Anibal goes live a little bit later today, so follow him. He talks about education and parents with children with special needs and how to help navigate those waters. So Beginner's Mind is about not bringing in preconceived notions before you understand things. And Paco just said it. Paco is a beginner's mind master. And even he's done it, and I do it, we all do it. But part of why we created this series is to make sure we all start to think this way. I do it too, right? I get into a situation where I'm like, no, I know this is not how it's going to work. But even me, I'm like, wait, let me go back to the beginner's mind mindset and not have any preconceived notion. Let me just try to hear it with a mind of not negative, not positive, just listen and understand, right? And that will be the best way to look at crypto, right? Don't say, oh, this is not going to work. This is not going to be anything, or this is going to be amazing. Just try to understand it and then make your decision, right? And I think you'll join me on the ride once you do. So on that note, if there's any other final questions or comments, let's see. Somebody. All right. So somebody asked me a question on YouTube. Hey, Miguel, I'm on YouTube on my computer. My phone died. What are the first 3 steps after creating a wallet? All right. This is Rima. All right. So the first 3 steps: create a wallet on Coinbase. If you don't have Coinbase yet, I'm going to give you a free $10 of Bitcoin. If you go to the URL cbcoinbasemiguel.com, MIGULUEL.com, you get $10 of free Bitcoin when you put in $100. First step. Second step, study some coins. my current right now, September 8th, 2021 is I would look up Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. Those are my 3 for today. I would tell you that might change next week. Who knows? But right now, those are the 3 key things because those are all ecosystems. Bitcoin is being used in other countries right now, and it might grow very good because of that. Ethereum is being used for NFTs and decentralized finance more than anything else in the world. And Solana is being used right now as the fastest blockchain in existence. So those 3 you want to understand the differences and just start just getting in there and understanding it. To use Solana, you're going to have to download the Fantasia. I forgot. Let me see 1 second. It's called, Phantom. Phantom is the wallet for Solana. So you're going to have to make a Phantom wallet, but that's a little advanced. But I would say those are the first 3 steps. Create a Coinbase account, fund it, buy some coins. Don't spend too much. Don't spend money that you know, because like I said, right now, Solana could be high, Ethereum could be high, Bitcoin could be high, it could go down tomorrow. Just dollar cost average is another good thing to know. Let's say you have $1,000. You say, today, I got $1,000. I want to put it in these coins. Don't just put $1,000 today. Say, okay, I'm going to put this 1,000 over 10 days. $100 today, $100 tomorrow, $100 a day after that. Because what that does is it lets you ride the waves a little more. Because if you put that 1,000 today and then it goes down, you're going to feel like crap, right? But if you put that 100 today and it goes down, and then tomorrow you put 100, you end up with more coins. Then it goes back up, down, up, down. It's just a better way of jumping into this ocean. So I think that's good advice, I would say. Good question, Rima. Anybody else? Yeah.
So I know I asked last week about the Coinbase wallet, but when you're looking at people with a beginner's mind, like you're mentioning with Paco and everybody in the room, it's like, you don't think it's easy for them to just get a Coinbase account and then a Coinbase wallet so it matches their already account? You know what I mean?
So what I see is that when I look at these, like how to jump into other projects through Ethereum, the Coinbase wallet, it doesn't show up as much, right? But MetaMask.
What do you mean?
So like, let's say I'm going into like Decentraland. Decentraland is a metaverse where you could walk around like a fake virtual world. But to go into Decentraland, you have to use your wallet. So when they say log in, they show list of wallets. And I don't know if I see the Coinbase wallet a lot. I don't even look for it, to be honest, but I don't know if the integration is on everything like I know MetaMask is. My also just personal bias, maybe, and I'm glad you're saying that, Milan, because it could be wrong, is I don't like the connection to the centralization of Coinbase. The point of crypto to me is decentralized, making sure it's not connected to, governments and stuff like that. And I do think, and I could be wrong, that Coinbase wallet is a little more connected to government than MetaMask. I don't know, but
right. I just it's safer, right? Because one, you don't have to worry about the protocols, and let's say if you want to add a new network, like on MetaMask, you put in the address and all the different stuff, RPCs and stuff.
Can you do that? Can you do that on
Right.
Coinbase? You can't add like the Avalanche.
But it's even simpler. You can just go on settings and say, okay, I just want to go on Polygon, or I want to go on Avalanche, or I want to go on Ethereum. You don't have to put in any numbers. You just click which chain you want to go on.
And it's only Ethereum. I mean, it's Ethereum at first, right? And then you add the different networks.
You can switch to whatever you want, yeah. But then you can go on any protocol. So in the middle, so they have 3 tabs. The one left tab is your wallet, the middle tab is the browser, and the left side, the right side is settings.
So there is a browser. There's a browser.
Yeah.
So maybe
you go right on OpenSea. You go on any platform you want. Right on the Coinbase wallet. And the reason why I say Coinbase is because, yes, it is more centralized to the government, but when they start cracking down on taxes, you want to make sure you can prove that's you. Because if you don't, you're going to have a problem. Like if you have a lot of addresses, and let's say you trade between 7 different addresses, and you can't really account for some transactions, that you can go to jail for that.
I know. That's why I pay for the tax software, because that tax software brings all it in. But I mean, again, I haven't even tested it, so I would tell you test it out yourself as well. The Coinbase wallet, there's an app in the App Store on Apple and Android, Coinbase wallet, right? MetaMask is another wallet. I just personally use MetaMask more. I tried Coinbase wallet first, and I just back then I felt like, oh, you know, I don't want to be too connected. But you're right. It didn't have the browser and all that yet, though. So now that it has that, that was going to be my next thing, Milan. I was like, but can you browse these websites? Because that's the whole point. Right now, the way you log on to websites in this new world is through your MetaMask wallet or Coinbase wallet. That's your login, your password, your payments. All that happens through that thing. All right. So what is
except MetaMask, and you also I bought NFTs and I bought ENS domains using Coinbase Wallet.
Oh, you did. And yeah. it's the same Ethereum gas fee as MetaMask. It's just same exact everything.
Yeah, what's cool about Coinbase is they explain the miner fee. That's what I really like. Like they'll sit there and tell you why it's high, and then kind of recommend maybe you shouldn't do it at this time and do it at a later time.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, they do a good step-by-step process on the transaction. So I think that's good for people that are just getting in.
That's good. See, so I think, and this is where beginner's mind, right? I think it might be better as a beginner than to try the Coinbase wallet, because the Coinbase wallet, if it's going to explain all that, MetaMask is not explaining all that. MetaMask is kind of an advanced thing that most like people that are pretty deep into this stuff use. But Milan is pretty advanced, and he's using the Coinbase wallet. So maybe it does make sense to try the Coinbase wallet. All right. So Rima's asking, what is okay to buy on Coinbase? I would tell you today, the 3 coins that I would recommend again are Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Solana. That's just to get you started in understanding. If you want to make the most money, I think in long term, the most money is going to come from Solana. I think second most is going to come from Ethereum. Third most is, so if it's in order, the thing that's going to make you probably the most money in the long run is Solana, because it's so new and it's growing so fast. Ethereum, I believe in the next year, Ethereum probably is going to be the best money maker out of all cryptocurrency. Then Bitcoin. I mean, and even there's a whole bunch of other coins that may do better than all of them, but it takes a while to really understand those and understand why. And if you're just starting, I would not start with those, because they can leave a bad taste in your mouth. You put in money and you just happen to pick the wrong one because you didn't understand, and you're like, oh, crypto sucks. But it's not that crypto sucks. It's just that you chose to jump into the wrong coin with too much money with the wrong mindset, right? Because that coin might grow up in value even more too in a few years. But if you put in, like, there's some coins that I bought and they went down 90% in months. And I'm like, ooh, that sucks. But I'm not going to sell them. Who knows? In 3 years, they may come back or grow even more. Why take the loss? But in taxes, there is something called tax harvesting, which if I'm up, let's say I'm up $100 and I got a coin that I lost $100. If I sell that coin, again, not financial advice, if I sell this coin, then that evens out my tax hit. Well, I didn't make 100 because I lost 100 here. So now even, I don't owe any taxes. So that's what people do. They call tax harvesting. You look at all of your coins and you say, okay, I did sell these and I made a lot of money, but I lost on these. So if I sell this right now, I'll readjust my tax hit. And then what you could do is just buy it again, right? If you want. So again, that's not financial advice, but it is what I'm thinking about doing based on my losses or gains. So I guess on that note, I'll end it here. Okay, you said Solana needs another wallet. Yeah, the Solana wallet is called Phantom. I'm going to put it in here. I'm going to type it on the YouTube. PHANTOM.app.
There's 2 other ones too. I just don't know what the name are. But if you search in Solana wallets, they'll come up.
So yeah, so you can search on Google Solana wallets and you'll see a bunch. Phantom just happens to be the most popular. that I've seen. It's really nice the way using, like Milan say, it shows your NFTs and all that. This is just such an exciting time, exciting space. I hope what I'm doing here, what I created today with this content is everywhere. If you want to rewatch it, you can watch it on YouTube, Twitter, anywhere. Thank you for coming to the Clubhouse and creating a conversation, all of you. I really hope you guys plant trees today. That's how I'll leave you, and have a good rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you.
Oops.